Hello everybody, it's your favorite self-perfected girl. This video is actually a video challenge for our group, Self-Perfected, that I did a while ago. It was about past, present and future, and the video challenge was just to talk about something and just picking up a point and then talking about the past, the present and the future of that specific point. And the thing that I talked about at that time was parenting. So the past, the future, and the past, the present and the future of parenting. And I think we all agree that we all want to do different things with our children. For those who already have children, or for those like me who aspire to be parent, we all want to do different things, and sometimes it depends on some just want to change few things and some actually want to change everything. But if we are going to be sincere with ourselves, how many things did you say yesterday that you want to do, but today you woke up and you stay in your bed all day long, you scroll onto social media and you actually did nothing? So this is just a pic to tell you that everything that you are saying that you're going to do right now when you become parent, if you don't fundamentally change your programming, who was installed in you when you were just a little child, when you were between 0 and 8 years, if you don't fundamentally change that, you are gonna do worse than your parent did. So you can actually see in the society right now that some parents give a type of education to their children who later on in the future make the child go through university and after that having a good job. But that same person who went through university, that means through school and then through university and then having a good job, take the decision to do better with their children, but their children didn't even pass through high school, because it's just getting worse, because the parent is becoming lazy and lazier. The parent hate the government so much, but at the same time send their own children to that same government and ask the government, can you educate my child? And at the same time they just let their children in front of TV. And sometimes, can you imagine that there are parents who just notice that their children can't even doesn't even know the alphabet when the child is 6 years old? It's just when your child is 6 years old, or 8 or 7 or 10, that you notice that they don't know the alphabet, and you expect your child to be a future billionaire. A child like that, the place that they're probably gonna end up in if you don't take action right now is jail. So just saying that I'm gonna be a patient parent, I'm not gonna whip my children, I'm gonna be there for them, I'm not gonna be angry, I'm not gonna pour my frustration on them, just saying that is, let's just say it's great, but actually doing it in the reality, in the moment, it's what counts. I don't care about the list that you are making, the things that you are not going to do when your child comes. I care about the moment. Are you actually living that in the moment? Are you in the moment breathing, being there with your child and explaining them, even though they ask you 100 times. Are you that parent, or are you the one who, even when you see your child coming from far, you are just annoyed? Meaning they are parent who, and Cameron called them cellular parent. They are parent who they just, because they want their own dopamine too, right? They are on social media, and when the child comes just to ask a question, the parent is just angry. Sometimes it gets even worse when the child comes and asks something about school, because the parent know nothing, and the parent starts saying, I don't have time. You are lying. It's not that you don't have time, it's just that you don't know the answer. You don't even know how to explain to your own child how to just a simple math. You don't know, and but you want to do the best. And the thing with this generation is about, because my parent didn't tell me that they love me, that's why I have low self-esteem, so I'm gonna spoil my children with I love you. So your duty as a parent is to tell your child 100 times a day that you love them, but the single moment they ask you something vital, you are just angry. You don't spend any single time with your child because you're incapable of just having a simple conversation with them. That's why you're sending them to school. That's why when they come back home, you just put them in front of TV, because you don't know how to interact with your child. Because you know the single moment you are going to interact with them, you're just going to beat them up. And so to avoid that, because that's the polarity, right? To avoid that, sometimes some parents just leave their children to the wolves. Don't leave your children to the wolves. They need you. They need you to guide them. And in order to do that, you have to first educate yourself. In the future, I'm going to do a video where I talked about the thing that every single person on earth should do before having children. And it would just mean that if you are already a parent, you have to do them right away. So where was I? I forgot where I was. So I was saying that in order for you to be that parent that you always dreamed of, meaning patient, explaining, being there, you should first heal from your past, because you have so many things that you should work on. You are just angry, you just get obsessed. The first thing that comes into your mind when your child asks you something is just raise your hand and beat them. And you have taken the decision to not do it, but you are still doing it, right? Why? It's because you haven't changed the programming that is inside you, because you are a product of your parent. And if your parent raised you by beating you and punishing you, this is the same. This is who you are. And so you have to first change that. And in order to do that, you need, it's a must, you need techno-tutor in your home. You need to start using techno-tutor to first heal from your past, and then educate yourself, so that you actually have great conversation with your children. And at the same time, use techno-tutor with your children, meaning they are gonna use it too, so that they're gonna upgrade their vocabulary, and you're gonna create that harmony in your family where your children are so fucking intelligent that you are gonna have conversation with children. Please stop saying that a children doesn't understand. You are stupid. You are just a retarded if you think like that. Because sometimes people say that, and I ask them, okay, tell me, at which age can a child understand? And people just look at me like, I don't know, when they grow up. It doesn't make sense. Let me just tell you. somebody who understands. It's just somebody who has the vocabulary about the things that you are talking about. Meaning, if a child is 1 year old and he has the vocabulary of what you are talking about, he's gonna understand what you are talking about. Because look, if I told you now I talked about micro mirror here, how many of you are gonna understand what I'm talking about? This is my bachelor thesis, by the way. Because you don't have that vocabulary, you wouldn't get what I'm talking about. So it's not about age, it's about how big your vocabulary is. Do you have a low vocabulary? You will have a low understanding. You wouldn't even get things. If you have a high vocabulary, you're gonna have quality conversation. So if you want the future of parenting to be great, you have to first look at the past. Meaning, you have to look at everything that your parents are that you want to change, because they are in you. And it's so easy to pick up on people, especially their faults. But when it comes to us, we think we are great, you know, because when people say, I want to do better than my parent, in that moment, they think they are better than their parent, but you are actually just a product of your parent. So the easiest way for you to know all the faults that you have, and oh, I have a bee here. Hi, bee. I love the sun. The sun is coming. It's September. It's October, and we have the sun. I love it. So in order for you to know everything that you want to change, everything that you have inside that you are avoiding accepting that you are, just look at your parent and write everything down that they are that you want to change. That is you. That is you looking at the past, because the past is going to tell you what you are today. And then your responsibility is to take full responsibility of those flaws, meaning you have to decide if you want to change or not. And if you want to change, the only tool that is going to really make you change, really, not that I feel like I change. Because feeling like you change, you haven't changed, because the moment your child just asks you something, you just get angry. That just means you haven't changed. If you are like, I don't want to beat my children, and you go and do a 1-course meditation and you're like, oh, I feel so great, and the moment your child come and talks to you, even while you are meditating, your first reaction is to beat them up, is to whip them, is to punish them, then you haven't changed. So the only way to really change, meaning after and while doing techno tutor, you are gonna be that person where your child come and talk to you. In those moments you are like, I don't just want to be myself, you're gonna just talk to them and explain to them. That's actually changing. And at the same time, you're gonna educate yourself, so that all the expectation that you have onto your children, you are actually gonna give them that. Because how do you expect your child to count and to know the alphabet when you don't even know the alphabet? How do you expect your child to count from 1 to 1 million? How do you expect your child to be a millionaire when you are living paycheck to paycheck? And people are like, oh, well, there are people out there who parents are poor, but they end up being billionaires and millionaires. You are so stupid if you think that that parent didn't have another figure in their life in their life, who influenced them, who programmed them to be that millionaire or billionaire. For example, if you listen to the Robert Kiyosaki story, right? If he just told you about how his parent was poor and then he become rich, and he didn't tell you about the part where he has a neighbor who was rich and who then influenced his life, who programmed him to be rich. That's it. You can't expect your children what you are not. You want for your children a certain standard. You want them to be disciplined, but you are a fucking loser. It doesn't work like that. Your children are gonna be the product of you and your partner. So if you guys are just a fucking loser, your child is gonna be a loser too. So in order to change that, you should first heal from your past by using TechnoTutor and doing the IP. Just reach out and I'm gonna chat with you about that and actually talk to you about DIP and TechnoTutor. And then you have to educate yourself, and it's so cool because it's the same tool, TechnoTutor, so that the future of your parenting is gonna be bright. Everything is predictable. Stop yelling at your child and beating them up and not educating them, not helping them with their homework if you even send your child to school and expect them to be the millionaire in the future. It doesn't work like that. If your child is 10 and he doesn't even know the alphabet, he probably gonna end up in jail or as a penna. Penna, this is Germany. Which is the word? I don't know. It's comment j'ai oublié le nom là comme ça. Now I've just spoken English, French and German. Yeah. So it's a homeless person. Yeah. And stop telling your children that they are gonna become whatever they want when you are not actually setting up the foundation and building the structure that's gonna help them and being what they want and whatever they want. Because yourself, you are not what you wish to be. So how do you expect your child to achieve that? So if you want to step up, if you see that you have to change, so don't reach out to me if you don't see the value of you changing. If you don't, I don't care. Don't fucking reach out to me. If you want to step up and change, fundamentally change who you are, so that you're gonna change the trajectory that your child are taking, who is just jail or poverty or being the hustler, and then setting up the future of your children so that they are gonna be leaders, people who are gonna be self-disciplined, have self-esteem, because that's what a child needs to actually have everything that they want in this world. So if you want your children to be so intelligent, to be geniuses, I hope this is how you say it in English, because in French it's génie. Just reach out to me and join the self-affected community, the self-affected parenting, because yes, this is what we are all about. Self-perfected parenting. Reach out to me and let us take everything in your life to the next level. See you next time right here. Bye bye.